All right, thanks for joining Heavy. We're here today at Crossfaith at Eaton Hill with Dale, Sam and Twiggy from Ocean Grove. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks. No worries, Chris. Good to be here.
Nice to see you boys again. Always a pleasure.
Yes. Good to chat again.
For sure, man. So Ocean Grove are in Brisbane today as part of Crossfaith, which also features Alpha Wolf, Crossfaith, Emmure, Paledusk, Diamond Construct and more. So how's it feel to be in Brisbane for something like this, guys?
It's hot.
Hot. It feels good.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is hot and sweet.
It's nice.
It's a bit like a butterfly enclosure.
It is actually.
Ooh, that sounds slightly tempting.
Yeah. There's a few bands playing inside, which is...
A few butterflies playing inside.
Yeah, a few
You
butterflies.
got the butterflies going in here, haven't you?
Yeah, a few of those. That helps. No, it's good. It's good. We've actually, funnily enough, the last 3 times we've played in Brisbane have been at this venue.
Yeah,
we just
good
realised on the
venue,
way here, we're like, mate, we just don't have to go anywhere else.
I think it's probably one of the best
Eaton's got it covered.
venues. Best venues in Brisbane. I think it's just such.
I think so.
It's
Australia.
picturesque. It's nice.
Yeah. The fact you can walk, like we've played the outdoor stage the last few times, 2, 3, was it? 3 times?
Yeah.
Outdoor and then indoor.
Oh, that's
and then
right,
indoor.
yeah. So, yeah, it's good being able to walk across the road and...
Stagger later on in the road.
Yeah, fucking oath.
And how good are festivals like this to have in Australia? Like, what do they mean to Australian bands to have something like this where you get the opportunity to mix with the big internationals, but it's not as big and full on as something like Good Things? It's sort of a bit more fan orientated, I guess, more personal.
Yeah, definitely. I was chatting to Scotty from Alpha Wolf earlier, and I just sort of had this moment where we were sort of setting up and everything, and we're in the merch section, and I just sort of looked around and thought, how cool is this? Like, we're actually putting on the show ourselves. Like, in a way, it's we've all grown up knowing each other. A lot of these bands, especially us and Alpha Wolf, we've toured plenty of times, with Crossfaith, and we know the Paledusk dudes, and so it's like there's already that family feel.
Yeah.
But especially, I think for Alpha Wolf, this is such a great achievement. It's something cool to be part of because it, as you said, it's like there's still great internationals coming over. It's still such a big event, but at the same time, it still feels so grassroots. And I think the way that the Alpha Wolf boys have gone about this festival has really they've been sure to kind of pay attention to those details of making sure everyone's looked after, that the mood is right, that it's all about having each other's backs and sort of it being about the music and the heavy music community and really building that culture. And I kind of feel that, and I sort of think, oh look, these are guys that we've grown up playing local hardcore shows with, and now they're hosting their own festival with all these great bands, and it's like we're not looking at someone else to do it. It's like just get up and do it yourselves, and I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. Now, how important is it for Australian bands? Because a lot of festivals and shows these days are just internationals. So the fact that there's something like this that Aussie bands can look at and go, I want to be on that, and I know it could be on that. It's got to be good for the industry.
Oh, it's growth. You need it. Otherwise, where are the opportunities for Australian bands and especially young Australian talented bands to have the chance to do these sorts of things? I think it's from that standpoint alone, it's great for just growth of the heavy Australian music scene, really.
Yeah, you can definitely see it growing into something bigger as well. I think if they stick at it, like, fucking great lineup. So it can only get better.
Yeah.
So I think the more young up and comers and stuff, like, they'll make their way on there eventually, and we want to do as much as we can to obviously give them that push as well where we can in the industry, and it's just exciting. It's good to see.
And speaking of the great lineup, like, you do know most of the bands, you've played most of them before, but at the moment, like this point in time, who are you most looking forward to seeing today?
Well, we toured with Crossfaith in 2020, which was the last tour.
How good are they?
Oh, insane, yeah.
Their keyboard player, you see him live, and it's like he's on a combination of acid and the best fucking speed in the world.
He may
awesome.
just be, actually.
We don't know.
In his own words, every time you look at him in the eye, he says, "Bring the fucking terror." Is what he says.
You can see that from the crowd.
He's saying today you got to get that tattooed across your chest.
Bring the terror.
Yeah, bring the
what
terror.
a great album name.
Yeah, Weapons, those crew. So we haven't seen them since 2020. So today, first time seeing them since 2020 was in Melbourne Airport. Which was quite classic because it was a quick g'day, and then we jump on the plane and fly here. But I guess because we haven't seen them in so long, it'll be good seeing them obviously, and the Paledusk boys as well, another Japanese band. They just fucking kill it.
They bring it,
like one of the best, I'd say. Like they're just one band that has I don't know, they have something just so unique about their sound and their characters and personality, yet they're not even trying.
There's something very special about the Japanese music scene. Always has been, and I think very excited to see those two bands, obviously as friends, but they're just great entertainers, and we like to do that similar thing ourselves. You know, we consider ourselves great entertainers, so obviously Alpha Wolf will be great to see them on such a big stage, and
the biggest headliner, like it's no doubt going to be special.
It's going to be special, you know, to see them put on a show of this size as well for their own sake. But probably those three.
Yeah.
Fuck everyone else though. We're talking to you guys, mate. Like, how crazy is your set going to be?
Mate, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be good. We've
a half hour of power.
Yeah, that's it. We had a good run through of the set last night, and I think we've had a lot of studio time lately, and that I think has really helped gel in our minds the idea of what Ocean Grove is and what Ocean Grove will be moving forward. And we kind of took that energy into rehearsals, and like it just brought a slightly different tinge to these songs that we've been playing for years, that all of a sudden we're like, oh, if we do this and we do it like that, and maybe muck around with this, and kind of just being a bit free with it and having a bit of fun with it, being like, okay, this is a bit of a heavier lineup, like what can we do to maybe make that part heavier or that part go harder. And like I think just by that sheer act of experimenting, it brought out all these kind of fun, cool new things that it kind of feels like we're playing the set for the first time again.
Yeah, right.
So I think we're really pumped.
Yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
You've been described as a must-see live band. So run us through a typical Ocean Grove live show and why you must.
Is that you who said that? Or?
I'm quoting myself.
Sorry. What do you mean?
Current tense.
What makes your show so special? Because I have seen you guys before and you bring it. You know, like how much work and I guess goes into, like, is it all impromptu up there, or do you work on that? Or?
A big part of it, definitely. I think we've just got this natural ability when we're around each other to amp each other up and put on a great show. Like we're all fucking best mates. So you can't. There's a bond there, obviously you can't break. And as Dale was saying, like last night we got in the prac room. It was the first prac in.
We haven't played in
how many months?
2 months.
Yeah, a couple of months since we got back.
A few months.
I decided to do one practice before the big show.
Just to say, it's more so like
we owe it to the people at least one rehearsal.
Just a token rehearsal.
We owe it to the people.
more so just like, make sure everything works and make sure the guitars have strings and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
That's a good start.
They did.
They did.
We're just using the same strings from the UK tour.
He's up professional.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think we just you can't really match that energy you feel when you walk on the stage. Like we all look at it, like, we have our huddle before the show and we amp each other up and we look in each other's eyes and fucking know that we're about to bring it. And a lot of the time that energy is just like definitely impromptu. There's obviously some structure to it, being the set list and whatnot, but some of the stuff just comes in the moment. It's just so much fun to be up there, and I think that
it's infectious.
Shows, yeah.
We're just trying to have fun. We're a fun band. That's our aim, really. Like, we like to play a mixture of sounds and genres, and we might not be the heaviest or the lightest band on a bill at any one point in time, but if we can be an energetic and fun band to watch, that's usually what we like to bring. And we walk away pretty happy when people enjoy that. So
dynamic. I think we just love the fact that we there's multiple dimensions to what we're presenting, and it's not just here's this sound and you're going to get 40 minutes of this sort of structure. It's like we're just looking to bounce from one thing to the next, just like a kid with his toys. Like it's just like what next can we sort of throw out there and see what kind of response we get. And I think today is going to be a really cool example of that. It's a really cool kind of cross-pollination of a lot of sounds and genres, and the way that I think through touring you sort of understand how you can translate the energy and the vibe of any particular song in the correct way. How a crowd's going to respond best to that song by what you're doing on stage. And I think we've really finally tuned that over the last sort of 6 to 12 months. Yeah.
It's actually the perfect segue to my next question. Anyone would think that we had this worked out, so you've done really well with that.
Not our first rodeo.
Your music is a fusion of there's alternative rock, new metal, grunge, with catchy as fuck hooks. Like, was that a case of just when you started throwing everything against the wall and seeing what stuck, or did you have a plan and sort of bring it together from there?
I just think it's natural. Like we're lovers of music and many different forms and genres and sounds that from the get-go of making music under the Ocean Grove name, it's never going to be we're putting ourselves in a box to only make this sound. We're going to try and explore all of it, everything that we like, and it's worked really well so far, and it will continue to be that way, I think.
And we like to play with fire. Like, we're not afraid to, fuck around with those genres and see what works. And, you can pretty much go off first principles. If something sounds like shit, it's probably shit. if something's kind of working, you can fine tune it and make something special. So I think, just like that energy as well, just in the studio, like when we know, because we've known each other for so long, we've been around each other for so long, that most things about each other we know. When it comes to songwriting, there's those moments in the studio where we look at each other and we're like, this is it.
And we love the mixtape playlist kind of idea, that's very much the centre of what we do is with each album. It's like it's about how much can we cram in, really, but without overdoing it. But like, we just feel like there's so much ground to cover in terms of our interests and the type of sounds that we know that we have the potential and within us to kind of to nail. It might not be the thing that Ocean Grove maybe does best, but it's something that we know that we can at least try and do well.
Makes sense.
And I think over the last 3 albums, that's a big indicator of that happening, is us sort of going, what happens if we go in that direction and go into that direction and mix this and mix with this, and Sammy, why don't you do a vocal there, or Twiggy, and why don't we try this harmony, and maybe that part can be like just a hip hop thing, or that's a weird electronic like track you've sent us, like why don't we just chuck that in as an interlude and like see if that can mesh in, because we just want to have as many ingredients in that journey as possible. And I think a lot of it just comes from that. There's not too much like, we're not trying to force this thing of like, we have to have absolutely every genre, and that's sort of the formulaic, like formula to the madness. But there is somewhat of like a bit of that, but for the most part, it's really just, as Twiggy said, the things that feel good. And then when we get to a point of like, okay, how do we make all these things make sense? And then if we can, that's the hard part. And if we can do that and sit back and go, that feels really good. And that's sort of where we're at with the sort of the current stuff that we've been working on in the studio. It's like, it's a really good feeling, because it's a sure, safe like position to find ourselves, because whenever we've gone off that instinct, which we know so well now, it's always proved to be the most positive and beneficial in the aftermath.
Yeah, cool. So you've actually just led me into my next question again, mate. Are you reading these over my shoulder?
Must be. Bloody gecko eyes.
Not much has been heard from Ocean Grove since 2022's Up in the Air Forever. So I was going to say surely there must be new music in the works, but there obviously is.
No, that was actually...
You're lying to me. You're speaking shit. All right, that's it. We're done now.
That was an interview question, shocking answers. I don't know where I was going with that. No.
Maybe we do cut it there. Sammy.
Tell us about this new stuff. What have you been doing in the studio?
I don't want to give away too much, but there's plenty of new music coming. Plenty of fans who have enjoyed past, present, and future Ocean Grove. I'm sure will love it, and with hopes to hopefully give it to everyone really soon, as soon as we can.
As in, like, with a run of singles first and the album, or you can't even say that either.
Well, we might keep that under wraps. We haven't even discussed it. It's all so fresh.
It is very fresh.
Well, what's been going on in the studio then? What sort of is it? You guys do like to experiment and stuff a bit. So what direction is this stuff that you're not doing in the studio now?
What's your man
what
called
is it
again?
going?
Yeah.
What's the man called again?
I'm not telling you that.
Heavy mag.
Nice.
Yeah, well, Heavy Mag listeners might, or readers and whatever, might enjoy the new stuff.
Very vague, aren't they?
Yeah,
Very
that was a
vague.
diplomatic
So
answer.
mysterious.
Yeah,
Ooh.
Whoa.
No, but all you need to know is that we are so pumped on it. Like we're more confident in this music than I think we've ever been before. We're so excited to get it out ASAP to our listeners because I think they have earned it and they deserve to have some more music.
They just don't deserve to know anything about it.
They just don't deserve to know anything about it because that's the best part. Because our fans know to expect the unexpected, and I think if we keep it that way and it can be a nice big surprise, that'll be the best way to receive it. So.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that. I don't want to talk to you guys.
Yeah.
But enjoy your set today, guys. Thanks for joining us,
good on
mate.
you, Chris.
Always a pleasure talking to you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
We'll catch up with you soon.
Beauty, sounds good.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.